Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dana and today I made a special dessert, a cake with pears and caramel and delicious filling with whipped cream and cream cheese. I'm gonna start with the heart of this cake with a Jelo that's in the middle with pears and caramel. So I'm gonna tell you all about it. I need 2 pears. I have them here. 60 grams of sugar, 20 grams of butter, 4 grams of gelatin powder and 20 milliliters of water. And I will hydrate the gelatin by adding the water over it and let it aside. In the meantime, I wash the fruits and I'm gonna remove the peel. I will slice them now in smaller cubes and I will remove the core. And in a pot I'm gonna make the caramel by adding the sugar and let it on the stove on low fire to melt and caramelize. I'm not gonna stir it with a spoon or anything like that, just let it be. You can swirl around the pot until you see this lovely color. Now add the butter, be careful, the caramel is really hot, so don't get burned. You can lower the fire now and let this butter to melt as well. Add the pears over and let them cook for a few minutes to release the juice and to be covered in that lovely caramel. So you can stir them around for about 5 to 6 minutes. Now turn off the fire and add the rehydrated gelatin. And because my mixture here it's already warm enough, the gelatin will dissolve as well. I'm gonna take it off the stove. Don't boil the gelatin, so make sure that you turn off the fire. Stir in the gelatin. So this looks amazing. I prepared a round shaped cake form that has the 15 centimeter diameter. I cover it with cling film and I'm gonna pour now the pears in that, distribute them all over the tin, and I'm gonna also add all that lovely caramel juice over. And I'm gonna let this cool down in the freezer, and while they will cool down they will also gelify. So we're gonna have a lovely heart for our cake. While the pears are in the freezer, I'm gonna make now the sponge cake, for which I'm gonna use 4 eggs, 60 grams of flour, 150 grams of sugar, 90 grams of unsweetened coconut flakes and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna mix in dry ingredients, flour, coconut flakes, and baking powder, making sure this way that the cake will bake evenly and the coconut flakes will be evenly distributed throughout the cake. So mix all of these dry ingredients and let them aside. Crack the eggs in the mixer bowl, as well the yolks and egg whites. You can also add a pinch of salt, and I'm gonna start mixing these with my KitchenAid mixer here. At low speed, I will increase after a minute, and I'm gonna start adding sugar and continue to mix until the eggs change color, and also we're gonna have some volume, increase volume. So we have lots of air in our mixture now. I lowered the speed of the mixer, and I'm gonna start incorporating dry ingredients that we mixed earlier. And in the meantime, I have already preheated the oven at 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna pour the batter in a cake form that I line with baking paper, and I will bake this in the oven at 180 Celsius, like I said, for about 25 minutes until the sponge cake is nice and baked. You can also do the toothpick test. Looks amazing. We need to let it cool down, but I will remove the ring so it can cool down faster. And I will also remove the baking paper. So basically move that sponge on a cooling rack carefully. It's really soft and fluffy and airy. So let it now cool down without the paper, just by itself on the cooling rack. If you prepare this at the head, after cool down, cover it in some cling film, because you don't want it to be dry. So let it cool down. Now when you're ready to assemble the cake, we're gonna go to the next stage of this. We're gonna make the filling, but only when you're ready to assemble the cake. So for this, I'm gonna use 3 grams of gelatin granule, 80 milliliters of water, 200 grams of unsweetened cream that is cold from the fridge, 100 grams of powdered sugar, 400 grams of cream cheese or mascarpone, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, we hydrate the gelatin in water. Put that cream cheese in the mixing bowl. I'm gonna mix this up with cream. So I kept both of them in the fridge, cream cheese and whipping cream. Start mixing at low speed. Start adding sugar and increase the speed until the mixture is nice and stiff and fluffy. Add vanilla extract for more flavor. Melt the gelatin in the microwave for 10 seconds and take 1 spoon of the cream cheese mixture and mix it with that gelatin. making the gelatin filling more comfortable. And now you can pour it over the cream cheese mixture, and using whisk incorporate the gelatin in the cream cheese mixture. I will assemble the cake now, so I'm gonna slice the sponge cake that is cold in half. I'm using this special tool for slicing cakes, but my sponge cake is so soft and fluffy, and I have a bit of hard time cutting it in half, but you can slice it with a serrated knife, probably even better than I did. So I have here the two slices of cake. I'm gonna use the same ring in which I bake the cake that has the 22 centimeters in diameter. I put cling film at the base of this ring, and I'm gonna add a few tablespoons of milk over it to make it nice and moist. Add now half of the filling, half of that cream cheese filling that we just made over the first sponge cake, and level it nicely with a spatula. Remove from the freezer the pear and caramel jello that we made, and now as you can see is nice and jellified, and add that over the filling and cover it now with the rest of the filling, the other half, and level it nicely without moving the pears from their place, but make sure to cover all the surface and the sides, feeling that difference between the pears and the outer metal ring of the cake. So level nicely. And put on top the other half of the sponge cake. Press it with your finger slightly to adhere to the filling underneath, and add a few tablespoons of cold milk over it. Cover it with cling film, and you have to put it in the fridge overnight for the filling to set, and this way we will be able to slice the cake. So cover it with cling film and in the fridge to set. Now take the cake out of the fridge and remove the outer ring and the cling film, and you can powder it with sugar and with some coconut flakes, and you're ready to serve it. Keep it in the fridge, of course, until you're ready to serve it. It's an absolutely delicious cake, looks amazing as well, and I'm sure your family and friends with which you're gonna share this will just love it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you here next time with another recipe. Until then, 5 reasons to smile. Have an awesome day. Bye bye.